You all here today. I have a couple of things I want to make sure I talk about. We are seeing many new members. We're seeing folks who were with us and are now back, and many new members. May I see a show of hands on our brand new members today? Susan, wonderful. We are still in our 10th, celebrating our 10th season. So as I calculate, this should be our 10th spring rehearsal here at South Suburban. So pretty amazing, and we thank you. As Brian said, my name is Cindy Runkle, and I'm the co-founder, executive director, and pianist for this group, and for all groups, right, but one. We also have kind of an exciting announcement today. Our friend Chris Garenti, who's been working with us off and on and helping Brian and me in so many ways behind scenes. Hello? Okay. Chris is now the associate conductor of our organization. So she is moving into a broader role, and you'll see her probably most weeks here, and she'll still be conducting Parker, and she'll be sharing conducting with Brian at Highlands Ranch. So we're thrilled to have her.
Hey, is it appropriate to say a broader role when you're talking about a woman?
Yes.
That's not appropriate.
Yes. Well, it's better than expanded, isn't it? Elastic.
Point well taken.
Right, okay, so, let's see, do we have, I think our chorus manager and they still down the hall. Okay, so we have a couple more announcements during break. But at this point, let me introduce my co-founder, Brian Leatherman. He is our conductor and artistic director of South Suburban. So, welcome everybody.
I think it's that one that's, maybe it needs a new battery. I don't know what's going on. Weird.
Yeah.
So this one doesn't seem to be hissing.
No, I think it's.
Anyway, I was talking with Vicky before, and she said that she went to her chiropractor, was talking to her chiropractor, her massage therapist, and she mentioned this tapping that we do, and this person said, "Oh, that's an absolutely fantastic thing to be doing." So.
That's great.
Even a blind dog gets a bone once in a while. So, stand as you are able. And for you new folks, the way tapping works, you just start with your solar plexus and you just rotate, and then you just expand that and bigger and bigger and bigger. Just tap lightly. I'm going to have you do an experiment here in just a little bit. Okay. Okay. Go out one arm only. Just one arm. Okay, now stop for a second. What do you notice?
Tingling.
That one's tingling, yeah. Get the other one. It just wakes things up. Good. I learned this from the lady I was doing some kind of vocal therapy with.
Qigong.
Is it Qigong?
Yeah.
And your legs. And your butt. And your neck. Face. Whee! We often add a physical motion with a vocalization. Please do the physical movement, okay? Because we're trying to get not only your voice, but your body and your brain warmed up, and that helps with that. So, Cindy, could we please have number 23? Now, can you all see my finger? Can you see my finger?
Yeah.
Okay, put one of your fingers right there by your ear, okay? We're going to play with this a little bit, but the exercise is no, 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 no. check a couple things. First of all, is your tongue laying flat in your mouth? And is the tip of your tongue up behind your lower teeth? That's where the tongue should be. Some of us tend to sing with tension in the tongue, and you want, especially for an oog-out, you want it to be relaxed. Sorry about that hissing. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so now I want you to move that way out here. All right, let's go on up and do Put your finger around. When I first had you move your finger out here, did you notice what happened to your sound?
Increased.
It got brighter.
Yeah.
And then when we kept going back and forth, you kind of equalized them, which is not what I wanted you to do, but you didn't know what we were doing, so that's okay. And then, did you know what happened the first time I had you put it back here?
No.
It got darker. The vowel sound got darker. We can sing with more than one vocal color, okay, without affecting pitch, okay? It's possible that if you sing with a too dark a tone, you can cause flatting, and too bright of a tone can cause sharping, but it's possible to change your vocal color and be aware that you don't want the pitch to change. But, so that's something that a guy named Tim Seelig, who had the Turtle Creek Chorale for years and the San Francisco Gay Men's Chorus for years, and he has some little tricks that I want to try to incorporate more, just cause, you know? Because it's good for us to kind of change the tone color every once in a while, okay? And it's not a big thing, but if, 80, 100 people do it, it changes things. And it just adds a little variety to what we're doing. Let's look at, whee! The reason we do that is just to relax the vocal cords and just keep things free. Let's look at number 3. Oh, I did them the wrong way. That's no big deal. We'll do this one the way I was supposed to do the first one. I write English, I don't always read it, but so this goes no, no. The first one goes, the second one goes, and then no, and the third one goes farther, goes up farther. Okay, good. So what I want you to do that with your finger in front of your mouth, and I want you to sing in such a way that you don't feel the breath against your finger. Stop. Did you feel breath? Okay? And some of you, it's impossible not to. I cannot sing that poorly. I'm not bragging, it's just fact. No. Now, that if you did not feel breath, we never want that to happen, okay? And you say, well, but what about when you're singing quietly? When you're singing quietly, you actually have to use more breath, okay? But now let's keep going. And this time, I want you to make sure you feel the breath against your finger all the time. higher you went, the more breath you felt. Absolutely. It's just like I used to tell the kids, if you've got a jet, are you going to use more fuel to get up high? Yes, and of course once you get there, then you can coast and you're okay. But it takes more breath, more fuel to get up high. But what did you notice about it? Are there any physical sensations you noticed other than this? Here, you noticed you had to work down here in your viscera. You had to support that sound. Also, what did you notice about the sound? It was focused. It was a much richer, purer, clearer sound. And we as Americans tend not to use air when we speak. We tend to just sit on our vocal cords, and that unfortunately can go cross over into our singing. We probably always could, whatever we do, could add 10, 15, 20% more flow, breath flow to whatever we do. So one of the things I will be nagging you about. Number 17, please, madam. No, let's skip to 18. Skip to 18. Just to get your rage going. This one, listen. D, do. The first one went up. The second one went down. Use your words, boys and girls. Use your words. The first one went up. The second one went down. And the third one went way up. Good. I'm going to try that with you because it seems like often when I dictate these to you, that I've got people who just sing whatever they feel like singing. Which just gives me such great joy. And I'm always so kind about pointing it out to you. So, and we're just going to add, when we go do, just add that to it. Corners in on the E vowel. I taught for 30 years. I don't need to listen to elementary E's anymore. D, D. And as you go do, notice my jaw goes down. Give yourself more space. Okay? Drop the jaw. Raise the soft palate. Inhale. Great. That's a really good sound up there. And they ain't no wobbly old lady sounds going. You know, it's like, ooh. Thank you. Have a seat. I was a ringer at First Christian Church in Colorado Springs for about a year. I needed a little extra money, and there was she was just the nicest lady. She was a total sweetheart. She was also probably the biggest donor to that church. And she was in the soprano section. And when she got to F, top line F, and she was so nice, you just couldn't, you just had to deal. But she kicked in an extra gear, and it was like a Gatling gun going on. This vibrato was just, oh. But she was the sweetest, dearest woman in the world. really nice. If she wasn't, you could have easily had grounds for murder. And the choir director, was a friend, and we would just, go have a drink after church. Okay, would you please take a look at Carry the Light? I always do this when we start. I know many of you are experienced choral readers, but just in case we have anybody who is not, it helps to just remind. And I hate to say, is there anybody here who doesn't know how to read choral music? Oh, I'm stupid. I don't know what I'm doing. No, I don't want to do that. So just some reminders. So you'll notice that on the page where it says Carry the Light and the music, the inside cover, it's page 2. That makes sense for the first page of music, doesn't it? It depends on your publisher. Some publishers don't number the first page where music is, and then you go to the next and it's 3 already. Or some it's 2. In this publisher, Alfred, is almost always, the cover is 1. Some publishers, the first page of music is 1. It just depends. So, as you look on that page, you'll see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sets of 5-line staves, right? And the first 2 are bracketed together, and so are the second pair bracketed together. And you notice they've got a fancy bracket there. It says piano. Because Cindy does all the work and she's the important person, she gets the fancy bracket. And she needs 2 because she's got that whole keyboard and 88 keys to cover, and they won't all fit on one staff. So anyway, maybe if I turn it that way. Oh, there it is. I hate that hissing. I'm sorry about it. Anyway, so those 2 staves go along together. Plural of staff is staves. And then 2. And then down at the bottom there are 3 because now there's a vocal line. Notice the poor vocal line is just this skinny little stick going up there. Like we're no big deal. And then if you look over on page 4, when we have a soprano, an alto, a tenor, and a bass part, we finally get a bracket of our own. A boring, straight bracket. Because we don't rate like the pianist. But anyway, if you look at the staves, you'll notice there are these vertical lines going across, and that divides us up into measures. In this particular song, measure 1 is the one after that first horizontal or vertical line or bar line or measure line. We call those areas between 2 bar lines a measure or a bar. We don't tend to call the lines measure lines. We tend to call them bar lines. Okay? But those are all interchangeable terms. And in this particular song, there are 3 notes before we get to that first bar line. Those are called a pickup. Okay? So we navigate by either saying, go to page 3, system 3, measure whatever. Okay? Now each one of those sets of brackets, like how many systems or scores do you see on page 3? On page 3, there are 4 systems or scores. Okay? On the next page, how many are there? 3. Okay? Most publishers, once they get, once you get all the parts in, they tend to do it rather than changing it. So then your eyes know where to go. Although you go to page 7, and because there's just a solo alto line, the alto section get a solo in this song. They had room to go ahead with 4 systems. Anyway, so that's one way to do it. Page 3, system 3, measure 2, or whatever. But the way Chris and I like to do it is measure blah. So your homework, number 1 homework, is go home and number all your measures. Okay? I even said that right. It's to measure all your numbers. And if you're not sure how to do that, you go to the tutorial page, and they're already numbered, and that way you can see if you've screwed it up. Of course, Chris and I never make mistakes as we're numbering our measures. Isn't that right, Chris? Yeah. And Chris and I both have swampland in Florida you might be interested in. So, I have a question for you. What is the first word in the base part in measure 49? 49.
Burning.
Well, how do you know that's 49? Well, first of all, get yourself to page 7. Go to the bottom system. You see, by now, we've actually got 3 different lines for the vocal parts. Soprano and alto, and then tenor and bass together. But if you look on the left-hand side, in many publications, not all, but in many, Alfred does this, there's always a little number telling you what measure you're at. Okay? So 48 is the first one down there, and then 49. Now, if you look over on page 8, notice the 44 is in a box. Whenever the measure number is in a box like that, sometimes it's just letters. But most often, in most octavos these days, it's a number. That's an important structural point in the song. Okay? Something new or different is happening, and it's just an easy way to find stuff. Okay? Any questions about any of that? This is a pretty easy read. Let's just read through it and see how we do. Now, if you're reading along here and you're going, relax. We'll give you time. We'll go over stuff. And so I'm really sorry about this. It's very irritating. What if I put it here? Will that make it any different? That's better. Must be my body. Wonder what that'll do. Oh, that's better. So far, a little. No, I think I'll hang it there. Let's do that. Let's see how it happens. Way light, screw up and stand up and mess it all up. Now, there it goes again. Oh well. It starts out with a solo. This can be any voice. I was heavily lobbied on Friday that I know at least one person wants to try for the solo, so I guess maybe we will let it be a solo. Unless I don't get any people try out for a solo. We're just going to go for it, and then as we need to, we'll go back and play parts. But let's see how you do. None of you have started joining me. That's where the T goes. That's one.
I thought it was your microphone.
I'll have to tell you that story later. Oh, speaking of stories, there was a couple that was married for over 60 years. And unfortunately, the woman is getting ready to make her transition. And in 60 years, 60 plus years of marriage, they did not have any secrets from each other except for this one box in the closet that she forbade her husband from ever opening. And she said, honey, go get the box. Open it. So he opened it, and there was a crocheted doll in it and $95,000. And he said, what's this? And he said, well, when we got married, my mother said, never get angry at your husband. If you feel angry, just go crochet a doll. And he said, oh my goodness, 60 plus years of marriage, and there's only one doll. That's amazing. He said, what's the $95,000? She said, oh, that's what I got from selling dolls. Okay. Let's go on at 24 and see what happens. Right at measure 24. Notice the repeat sign there. Okay? And we're going to go over clear to the bottom of page 7. That's where the other repeat sign is. How many of you know the name Barbara Grenoble? Grace and I do, yes. She was the person I really learned how to teach music from. And she had a studio at Dartmouth in Pennsylvania and Englewood. And I drove down from Woodland Park every Monday night for a year to take classes with Barbara and her partner Peggy. And she always said, so when she would teach kids, she said, now do you see that? And you see the two little dots? Those two little dots are its eyes, and it's looking for its friend. And you go over to the bottom of page 7, and you notice that little friend, the eyes are looking back the other way, looking for its friend. Okay? So when we get to the bottom of 7, we're going to go back to the first fret. But notice, starting at the bottom of page 6, you see that bracket over the top of the soprano alto line with a 1 in it? And that bracket continues all of page 7. That is a very long first ending. When we go back to page 6, 4, 5, page 5, back to measure 24, and we do the second time, when we get to the middle of page 6, at the end of measure 31, we are not going down to measure 32. We are instead going to flip over to page 8 for the second ending. You gots? All right. Let's see how many train wrecks happen if we just start at 24 and I just cut you loose. Good luck. Here's the downbeat at 24. Let's break this up and do some parts here. Just curious, no, I'm not making anybody bad or wrong, I'm just curious, how many of you happen to have listened to any of the music already on the website? Cool, good, yeah. We'll talk more about that for our new folks. Let's just do the tenors and the altos, since you kind of have a duet, and then later on we'll do sopranos and basses. Tenors and altos right there at the pickup to 25. And you pronounce that lux eterna. And it's eterna, not aeterna. AE is pronounced the same as an E in Latin. Tenor and alto. 2 and 3. Going on. You would expect that to resolve, but it doesn't. It just stays on that. And now let's do these. Let's do the sopranos and basses. You're starting on the second beat of 25. And 1. Serves correct. When you get to the top of page 8, you come to exactly the same chord. The second ending begins the same as the first ending. So if you forget to go to the second ending, you don't have a problem unless you're an alto who starts singing the solo again. And then in that case, the laser cannons will fire. Can I have everybody parts pick up to 25? 2 and 3. Stop. Be careful of a terna. I'm hearing Luke's a terna. Luke's a terna. Do it all through this kind of lips. And you go ahead and follow. 1 and 2 and 3. Stop. I just saw a little short video on YouTube, and it just was castigating all of us who are counters. And I was indicted. What I should be doing is this. 1 beat and a breath. Okay? So I'm going to try to train myself to do that again. I used to do that. Nice. Off 1, 2. Good. Tell you what, we've got about a minute. I think we can get to the end of this. You may or may not be able to follow along with your part, do the best you can. When we get down, notice that up at the top of page 8, I'm now on page 8, sopranos and altos, you're together on the same staff, and then you see at the end those little arrows pointing up and down. That's a reminder that down below, you're now going to be on separate staves. Okay? And tenors and basses, you're together on the third one down. So you kind of got to adjust. You might have to put little X's so you aim for the right one. So let's just start right at the second ending. The chord you were just singing is, and we're going to go for it with the accompaniment, and don't scrape your knee. So this one, unlike the one at the end of the first ending, or at the beginning of the first ending, which decrescendos, this one, okay, and I will carry the light.
this doesn't ever resolve. Just stays. And I think the reason he doesn't resolve it is you're saying the light eternal. If you resolve it, it seems final. It seems like an ending. And this is saying, the light just keeps shining. Nice work. Let us look at another light song, Waiting for the Light to Shine. Fun tune. Oh, yeah, Cindy reminds me that our concert title is Shine. And a lot of our songs have allusions to light.
Yeah.
Right, stuff like that. Okie dokie. So we're gonna, the first little bit of this, up through the top of page 4 is at a slow tempo, so I think we can do that. Cindy, I'm gonna ask you to play accompaniment until we have vocal lines and then just jump to the vocal lines. This is from the musical Big River. You notice who wrote the words and music? Trailers for Sailor Boots are at 60 cents. No hats. Ain't got no cigarettes. Hey, see, you guys know that too. How does the rest didn't seem to know it? Here we go. Love me by no means. Take the road. And right away, it's waiting, not waitin', waiting, and it'll be relaxed sort of diction, and going on at far beyond. And oh, sorry, I broke my rule. When we do it this way, guess what you all do? You look up. And do you notice how unified our attacks are? Gotta do it. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and do that again. Can we just start the way that I was? So pick up to the last bar of 33, and I will pay attention to what's supposed to be happening.
What?
Measure 33, sorry. Measure, I don't know what I'm talking about. Could you be at the bottom of page 3? Pick up to the last bar. And the last bar happens to be 16 if you want to write it down. And 2, 3, 4, up. And it'll speed up. We're not going to speed up to 126 today. So let's take it about tempo. Do you learn? We're going to do the same thing. Cindy will play your little interlude, and then she will jump to parts. 'Swamp'. I am waiting for the... No, it's not 'Swamp'. Never mind. Think of a different song. I am waiting for the light to shine. And stop. Do you notice down at the bottom of the page in the first bar, do you see those little curving lines. So what we are supposed to do, I am waiting for the light to shine, 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 whatever. Scoop into it. Those of you who like to scoop notes, here's your chance. The thing I've always noticed about written in scoops is the scoops happen everywhere but. You ever notice that, Chris? You will scoop, or the laser cannons will be. They will be activated. This is twice I've told you about laser cannons and nobody has chuckled. It is a joke. We don't really have laser cannons. I tried to get them to put them in and they wouldn't do it, so we don't have any. Right there, measure 22. Oh, and that's harder for you because this one has no measure numbers at all unless you're in a major box. No, they don't even have them anywhere.
All the boxes.
Yeah, but they're few and far between. I am waiting. Second score, third bar. Altos, strange little thing, doesn't happen often, but you see the line? You go down and sing a few notes there in the tenor, of the tenor, just because they didn't want to clutter up the music where the sopranos. Notice that the sopranos are the ones who live the undirected life. They would never give that to altos. Right there, 30. Sopranos and altos. Altos, I'm in bar, and sopranos, I'm in bar 38. Watch me. I am waiting for the little light to shine. Would you say that with me? 38. I am waiting for the little light to shine. Let's do it again. And I'm hearing waiting, waiting, waiting. And for the little light to shine. Just blah, blah, blah. Okay, relaxed. Here we go. I did that wrong. I am waiting for the little light to shine. You got it? Now, when we're at tempo, that won't be that long, but you got to wait for the downbeat. And I'm still hearing a T and waiting, waiting. Do you hear a T? Waiting. No T's. Take it out. Waiting. And yeah. What? Well, for the little light to shine. It's not going to be for the little lights to shine. It ain't going to be that. Okay? Just go down south. Go a little south. Relax. You know. I am waiting for the little light to shine. Good, let's try it with parts 38. Everybody. Nice. Bass. the divisi, page 8, second system, last bar is soprano, soprano, alto. On the word shine. Okay. Thank you, because you're doing something automatically that I just love. I have lived in the darkness, but I have lived in the dark. In the dark. In the dark. Just throw away the syllable the. It's a 16th note. It's no big deal. Okay? Let's look. You're doing very well. Let's look at the bit where we're going kind of antiphonally with the basses. Let's do this. Could we start up at the top of 7 in bar 46? Basses don't sing. Basses don't sing. Just these tenors and altos and sopranos. Starting in that last bar. Right at the edge of 8, right at the edge of page 8, right at the edge of page 8. And when we get to the third bar, sopranos drop out. So all I want is those offbeat 8th notes, okay? So when you don't have those on 2 and 4, just quit singing, okay? 53, 1. Top of 8. I'm going to breathe on 1, and you come in on 2. Now, you got to go waiting for. Let's add the bassos back into this. Top of 7, pick up to 46. All the parts. By the way, right now, and this isn't in your tutorial, but we're going to add it right now. Bar 58, where you all get to the whole notes on shine, would you please write in, look up. Okay. One of my pet peeves is choral singers who do this. Shine! Because they still screw up the cutoff. There's no reason to stare at that note. It ain't doing nothing. If the pitch were changing, maybe. Yeah, but that ain't. It ain't changing. So just look up with a big grin on your face, and we'll cut off together. And you got to memorize the last bar. Shine the light on me. Just might as well memorize that bar, and then we're in good shape. Very nicely done. Could we please add the dynamics in the measure 56? That's page 8, second system, first bar. Do you see what happens there, boys and girls? You've been cranking along at forte, and then we're all going to be, wait, waiting, and then we're going to go clear from piano to double forte. Got to go through mezzo piano, mezzo forte, forte, and okay. So it's B crescendo. We will go back a little farther. When we are top of page 7, we are singing mezzo forte, except for basses who can sing blessissimo. Because you are the preachers there. You hold the Bible in one hand and your music in the other, and you preach the sermon right there. Don't ask me why I'm being Russian. I have no idea. Stuff comes out of me. Okay? But we're good song mezzo forte. Then by the time we get to top of page 8, we have to be forte, and then we're going to do that. And then just let it rip. Good luck. We're at the top of page 7 with the basses lead in to 46. You think you can do it with the accompaniment?
Yes.
Bet you could. Sydney, would you start on the downbeat of that bar? And then basses, you come in after 3. Okay? Top of page 7, second bar. Sydney, basses come in after 3, you come in on the next bar. And the last bar because it looks stupid if you're all going. Good for y'all. Very nicely done. So, for you new folks, we in midway we'll stop for some announcements. Ideally, we'd like them to be 5 minutes. This will be a little longer today, so don't fall asleep. And then we take a 10-minute break. Let's talk about the most important thing you learned today if you're a brand new singer. The bathrooms are out the door and to the right and on the left side of the hall. I have a very few announcements. Your homework. Everybody say, oh, goody! Your heart wasn't in that. Number all your measures in all your songs, okay? Because Lord help you if there's a spot check. See, who's I talking with over here? Oh, Diane and I were talking. We've decided that if somebody isn't wearing their name tag, we ought to fine them a quarter and put it on a party fund. And see, if I did a spot check and you didn't have your measures like me, it should be a quarter for each and every measure. Oh. No, that would be unfair. You should think about that. It'd be fun. We'd have a hell of a party, wouldn't we? Anyway, so your homework is to look at all the songs, okay? And I have to throw myself on your mercy, brothers and sisters. I have to commission. I have to unburden my soul. We have practice tracks, professionally recorded practice tracks, which are just a godsend to help you learn your music. And we'll tell you how to access those in a second. But I wrote to Matthew at Choral Tracks, and literally in a day, he sent back everything I asked for. And so I said, great, shoved it aside until I started working on the practice track page. And the first thing I did was sing, and it was the SAB version.
Oh, no.
And the soprano version ain't the same as in the soprano, alto, tenor, bass version we have. The alto ain't the same, tenor, bass, forget it. I think the accompaniment is the same, and that's about it. So Chris found, or somebody, Chris found me, a YouTube. So I have a YouTube link on that. Did you ever get that to work, Vicki? Was it you that were having trouble? Somebody was having. Did you ever get that? It worked? Okay. So It's just a YouTube link to a full performance, professionally recorded performance of the medley. Unfortunately, it's our biggest piece, and I quick sent him, scan the score and send it off to him, but I don't know how soon we'll have practice tracks. So it's my fault. I'm a terrible person. But anyway, would you look at all of the songs, at least like listen to the whole, the balanced voice version, the full choir version, for everything. But please, for next week, look at your part for sing. Well, that's hard to do. When you're listening to the full thing, try to concentrate on your part and see if you can hear the altos in there or the tenors. Can't stop the beat, and always look on the bright side of life. Because we would show those next week. But look at everything, and please measure your numbers and everything. Now,
Well, how do I get there?
okay, so you go to the website.
What's the website?
Look on your take note sheets. Cindy will talk about that in a second. You go to the website, you go to members, you click on it, and on a computer, you'll get a menu that'll pop up, and you go to practice, you click on it, and it'll ask you for the super secret password. Don't tell anybody what it is. It's SINGON, all one word, capital letters. Shh, it's a big secret, don't tell anyone. And then you can go, and the practice tracks are, the songs are listed in order, so you can put your music into your folder in concert order. And you just click on what you want to listen to, like your alto part or your tenor part or whatever, and you click the little triangle, it'll play in an endless loop until you shut it off. And you could pick up your part by osmosis, okay? On a phone, when you go to a website, are you aware of those three little lines up in the corner? Click on those, you'll get a menu, it'll pop down, you have to scroll down to members, and you click on that, and more things will pop out, and blah, 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 so you get there. On that same members page, you'll see a thing that says tutorials, and there is where Chris and I have posted our marked scores. Everything that we've marked is in there. And you can just transfer the marks onto your music, okay? Probably only take you 5 minutes, even in sing, which is longer. Probably only take you about 5 minutes, okay? But we want you to have those markings. Now, well, why do I have to sit at home and do that? Well, would you rather sit in a rehearsal for 5-10 minutes while I tell you what to mark in your score, or would you rather sing? Right answer. So there's that. There's also a homework page. You go there, and Chris and I will post assignments. Guess what your assignments are for this week? Look at all of the music, number your measures, and look at your part in sing. Always look on the bright side of life and can't stop the beat. Okay? So it's already posted there, right? There are other things for members there as well. So you go there. And those, unfortunately, let's say you're in practice tracks and you want to go to tutorials, it'll ask for the super secret password again. Don't know why, but it does. Yes, ma'am?
I don't have to put in the secret password, it goes right there.
Probably because you're perfect in every way. What it might be is that you haven't refreshed the page.
No, I don't refresh.
Yeah. Now the problem now, when you first get into the website, and on every page there's a purple box that's got updated information. If you never refresh your page, you're going to be getting the old information. You're probably getting information from 4 years ago.
Well, and the notabilia.
That notabilia, that's what I'm talking about.
We said
Isn't it purple? Isn't it a purple
No,
box?
I think it's black.
Whatever, there's a
The purple is
notabilia
the
page.
letter.
Oh, it's black, it's a black box, the little black box. So, anyway, yeah, if you refresh the page, you'll have to put in the super secret password.
Oh, okay.
Does anybody have any questions about that stuff? It's all delineated in your take note sheet. Yes?
Is this all the music? Because it doesn't seem like as many pieces as normal, but.
Well, the medley's long. I Okay. It's the same amount of time. Now, I'm about to break your hearts.
Yes.
Chris and Cindy and I decided we didn't want to sing I'd like to teach the world to sing again. So we eliminated it. So you may beat upon any of the three of us, should you wish. Oh yes, our guest is Nerea the fiddler. She is a Celtic violinist. She dances and plays fiddle at the same time. She will blow your mind. And she's actually, in addition to her own pieces, she's going to play. I've asked her to create something to go with Wait for the Light to Shine, and then there's a violin part for Carry the Light. So she's wonderful. You'll just love her. If you've seen her with Cherry Creek, and she will be with Cherry Creek again this year. Because somebody said, I liked her so much, I'll pay for her to come back. So we said, okay. But we're going to have her with us. She's a delightful person. Really, really good.
Okay.
I'm going
Okay.
to turn this off. Maybe it'll help.
Yeah, mine's doing it.
Sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Because we had a few ladies busy, I wanted to do a couple more introductions. So I'd like to start by introducing our chorus manager, Kathy Pewter. And her assistants, we have Trish, and yeah, that's next. So Kathy, you have something you want to say?
This water bottle was left at the South Suburban performance. If it looks familiar, if not, we may just donate it somewhere. If you kept, I'd like to teach the world to sing, please leave it back on the back counter if you don't want to keep it yourself. What else? Oh, if you don't want to keep your folder, your envelopes, you can also put those on the back counter. I will take those and reuse them if you don't want to keep it. No, you're not gonna be, no. Yeah. And you're gonna be keeping your music in your folder anyway, eventually. Oh, those of you who are just observing today and not registering yet, if you are not going to register, please leave your music on the back counter that you just borrowed for today. If you want to register today and bring me the receipt, then you can take your music home. Otherwise, you can register and show me the receipt next week, and I'll give you back the music.
But you can register today down at the front desk, right after rehearsal or during break or whatever you want to. I'm just saying that you can, I didn't have this plugged in. You can register at the front desk today, if you'd like,
Yes.
if you haven't and want to.
See Nancy.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. And we have one more week that you can register also. So please go down today, next week. You can call, you can go online, you can stop in any of the rec centers. We have flyers, the ones that were on the website. So if you have friends, family, you'd like to post or anything else, please come up. I'd like to get these all out today. So we'd like to see your friends and family with us next week.
I'm not done.
So Kat, let's do an introduction. So hold on. I wanted to first introduce Kathy Van Dam, who's our Chorale Pal leader, and we can talk a little bit about that and what's coming up.
I'll try this, and if it gets too fuzzy, I'll use my own voice, not amplified. We have a group of people called Chorale Pals that are here to welcome new people and help you get kind of comfortable with how things work and answer questions and sit beside you and interpret what Brian says. Or nudge you and say, that's really a joke. Anyway, we've got, I think, about 7 new people and a couple of observers who may also join the new people. So we welcome you very much. I don't know, I think I'll wait till next week to have you stand up and we'll introduce you. We also have wonderful people that you're sitting beside, and not beside just Chorale Pals. We have all of your friends and neighbors that are here that are happy to help you figure this out. I would like to ask you if you could spend a half an hour after rehearsal next week. We'd like to specifically go through the website and any questions you may have. The take note paper that Cindy and Brian have been referring to is like your Bible for this group, and you can read through it once and think you've got it, and then there's so much more there. It takes really, really careful reading. But we'd love to welcome you next week. Stay after for a little bit. We're glad you're here and glad you're joining us. There are so many benefits to singing with and being with a group of people and socializing. We know many people here are in all different stages of their lives, health-wise and mentally wise and whatever. If you have gotten up this morning and come through this door today, it's a victory for all of us, and we're glad you're here.
Oh, bless your heart.
Thank you, Kathy. The infamous take note sheet that she's referring to, you were given with your music. So even for returning members, if you could spend some time with that, it has our concert dates. It has our dress rehearsal date. And we will be going back to St. James Presbyterian for our concert this time. So the concert date is there, and times. And there'll be, little nuances with arrival times as we move forward. But please, everyone, if you could take some time to read through that. Okay? Who had their hand?
Sally.
No, I was.
Oh, he's scratching.
Okay, so moving on to our social component, Susan. Meet Susan Stein, who's going to talk to us about socialism.
Yes, and so socialism is very important and very fun. And we are going to, on February 10th.
No, we can do it the 3rd, because the veterans won't need to be at that meeting afterwards. That
Okay.
meeting afterwards is
Kathy,
for.
how long's the meeting next week?
Oh, half an hour.
Okay, so you want to just do it, because I'm one of those people, but you can run it, so let's do it next week.
Well, you just do it, and I'll just meet them there, and then you can come join us when you're done.
Yeah, okay.
We'll
next
still be
week.
drinking.
We'll drink it next week. And we're going to Grand Station, which has a lovely atmosphere and lovely happy hour food, non-alcoholic drinks, alcoholic drinks, and it's right on Main Street, Littleton. Just go right on down over the bridge, and it's the first thing on the right-hand side after the bridge. Grand Station, next week, Brian will be there. I'll be a little late, but just start drinking and eating. Anybody, join us when you can. These are really fun because we get to know each other in a relaxed setting. We get to say, what's your favorite music and how long you've been singing, and it's just really a nice thing to do. So next Monday, 3 o'clock, we'll see you there. Any questions? Kathy?
Well, 2 things. These continue, so if they miss one,
Yeah.
there's more.
There's gonna be more.
And it's so close you can just walk there.
Yeah, leave your car here, walk there.
And sometimes we go to lunch beforehand.
And Diana's gonna talk about it.
Yes.
Diane's gonna talk about that.
Diane,
But,
go ahead. I'm done.
oh, okay.
I'm told Kathy has a little update on Littleton, and this will affect next week.
Yes, those of you who live west of here, starting February 2nd, the Denver Water Department is putting in some lines on Main Street. It won't affect your coming here, but it will affect your going home, maybe. They said they're digging up all the old water pipes, putting new ones in. They will be doing most of the work at night. However, they said that it's gonna last about 4 months, and there may be some lane closures and some road closures. So just so you know, if you're going home west of here, you may run into that. So you might just wanna think ahead. So, yeah.
Thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, Diana Jurista has another social series of events.
I think I'm plugging it in.
When we don't go to happy hour, we go to lunch before, like meet at 11 o'clock at Romana's. Do you know where that is? Help me with the name of that street. Windermere and Littleton Boulevard. So it's just east of here. And we didn't powwow, so I've got my, if we're going out for happy hour on the 3rd, then we usually go out to eat once a month. So I guess the question is, when shall we go for lunch in February? Do you want to do 2 happy hours, or should we?
Just go for the 10th.
Shall I go for the 10th? All right, so on the 10th, then we'll plan to, and shall I get a show of hands then next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I think so. And if you ladies would maybe put together a little schedule,
And
then.
I'll post these dates and venues on our calendar on the website. Okay, as soon as you kind of let me know. And we do have a potluck schedule too. That date is on your tape note. I believe it's March 3rd. Is that right, Barbara?
Yeah.
March 3rd. Do you want to talk about that yet? Okay, meet Barbara Oakley. Each semester we have a potluck right here in this room after rehearsal. This semester is scheduled for March 3rd. So, meet Barbara.
Said everything I was gonna say. Hello. She said everything I was gonna say. So what do I say now? It's gonna be on March the 3rd. You know, I'll put the posters up and everybody will sign, and
You can say, even if you don't bring food, now why isn't this working at all?
even if you don't bring food, you may eat.
Yes.
That's what.
Well, we didn't have a problem last time. We had plenty of food and. But bring something, damn it.
Yeah,
There,
bring
how's that?
something.
There it's-
All right, that's it until I talk to you the next time.
Thank you.
Okay, last but not least, this is very important. So in your choir folders, your black folders, and there's more information if you need to order a new one or whatever, there's information on the take note. Your folders have these little strings, right, to hold, or elastic, whatever you call them, to hold your music. Well, one of our members at Highlands Ranch needed some, so she went on, I think Amazon, and ordered 20. But instead they sent her 200. So guess what I have plenty of, and for anyone who needs to replace or add or whatever to your choral folders. I'll just have them up here, so just come help yourself. I promised her I'd try to get rid of these. I'm gonna offload these over the next few weeks, so here they are, and here are the flyers again, so. With that.
Okay, we promise never to take that much time for announcements again. Chris?
I would like to hear you play Happy Birthday.
I'll do it when you come back. 10 minutes. 10 minutes.
All right. 2:30. Yeah, that was a little.
Be aware of your first measure is pickup, and it is on. So I started to like here, right up to 9. Two of the pieces, you'll see on the, yeah, you'll see it on the tutorial. I'm sure. It is, thank you. Have you been wearing it a lot in the winter time? Yeah. Yeah, I was having trouble reading fast enough to
God, that just shut it down, didn't it?
So for 2 days. So they actually built this building in the backyard.
Is that the first time you've ever seen snow?
Years ago,
Exactly.
before grandchildren, they didn't have a snow. So I talked to them.
Boy, this is a long house. Seems so very big. That kind of sad.
That down handle.
Yeah. 6 inches of rock.
No. God! Lee, that's nuts!
Yep, it's pretty wild. Maestro.
Yes. You know what? Boil this for a little bit, a little marinara, and you're ready. You got lunch. What are you doing now? Not today. She said, can we do it today? Oh, audition. Isn't that amazing? Order for 20. You have to. You don't.
But the thing is, they said you guys have told. They never told us.
And so we don't know, because normally it's a percentage thing, I think. Is it should change our ego? So they just take it.
Well,
We unfortunately, we have unlike Nikki, who's just an agent. And really, her successors have been dances person right now. There's two of them. One is fairly nice.
yeah, really got it.
She literally told us, do not call. We're going over there. There's Steve, his partners, his we knew about that one. This one, we were. I think Highlands Ranch.
Yeah. 38 pictures.
Same program. There's room. Yeah, they're gonna, yeah, but we got a thing, somebody sent a thing that had gone out from Highlands Ranch with the wrong pictures. I don't know who the director was, I don't know who that person, the people that were singing, none of our people. But anyway, but for a shorter session for children, $217. Well, I guess there's some daycare issues or something. But the other places, you know, in Parker, we communicate, but we've got a very uncommunicative person right now. No fun. Couple, 2 minutes, please, and you could be looking around for audition. Okay, let's look at audition from La La Land. How many of you have seen La La Land? Pretty cool. Pretty cool thing. La La. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because I just want to look at so
I don't know. It's Big River. She's asking, do I know anything about Waiting for the Light to Shine? Big River, that musical is from, gosh, at least 30 years ago, if not longer. We did a medley from that when I was directing the Pueblo Chorale. And that's prior to 30 years ago, because this is my 30th year with 1985. And of course, that's the copyright on that piece of paper that you got. The 1985 Tony Award. But it's, you know, it's based on Mark Twain's writing and stuff. I've never seen it. I don't know that they ever made a movie of it. But it won a Tony. But Chris, somebody asked, I think, Ginger asked, she said, does Chris, when Chris does her write-ups, you know, because Chris does the research for what we read about the songs in the scripts, she does such a, I used to help with that, but she does such a great job. I said, how'd you like to do that? And she's fine. So, as she has done her research and she has information, we will post that on the homework page, you know, like below, so you can go and read what she's learned. Because Ginger was saying, it would be nice if we knew that stuff prior to the concert. So we need to give you, and I'm guilty for not giving you more background. In audition, if you haven't seen La La Land, which I think is just fabulous, but the character Emma Stone, she goes for an audition, and they say, tell us a story. And so on the spot, she tells this story about her aunt. And her aunt must have been something.
But it's really a beautiful, beautiful piece. Very touching. It's got an alto suspension that I'm going to want to kiss every one of you. It's just one of those heartbreaking suspensions that every time it comes, I'm just going to be going. So, this opening does need to be a solo. I don't know that it has to be female, but it does need to be a solo until we take over. The sopranos and altos sing together on 11. Okay, here we go. We're just gonna read it, and then if it looks like you need some help with parts, we'll do that. We're running late, and I apologize.
What are we reading?
The one I said.
Audition? Okay, it's audition.
One of the things you'll learn is I don't like repeating myself. I mean that way. Barefoot. She's smiling. Stop. Send. The send. And the send. YouTube, there is a wonderful video. Jane Fonda, looking absolutely fabulous at age 86. So whoever's doing her work is doing a good job because she doesn't look like. But it's about how to add I think she's 86. She's in 90. But how to add 7.5 years to your life. And I like how they begin it. There's her, and then there's another medical person or someone who's a memory specialist. And this whole bit about, well, when you get old, you get forgetful. She said there's plenty of young people who can't remember anything. And that's just a lie we tell us. Doesn't have to be. We don't, it's not because we're older. And other things that we kind of tend to blame on age that really don't need to be. But then they get into, but how would you like to add 7.5 years to your life? And the key is arts classes. And that is any arts class. Like what you're doing. I forget who it was. Somebody, Tom Tellinger in Highlands Ranch. If you haven't ever met him, he's just the sweetest man. But his cardiologist, he was going to his cardiologist and he said, I'm sorry I'm a little late, I was at rehearsal. What rehearsal? Tell me about it. He said, this is absolutely the finest thing you could be doing. His cardiologist told him that. And pulmonologist told him the same thing. But this line, and that's why they need us. The people that come here you sing need you. They need what you give them when you sing for them. Okay? People need us. They need you doing what you do here with each other and for other people when you sing. So thank you. Here we go. So bring on. Same where we just stopped. So bring on. Pick up to 85. And so. In bar 104, for some reason the singer does not go from D sharp to D natural. We will. So that's an error in the recording. Going on, here's to the mess. And up. Stop. I should have taken care of this at the same time. Put a big X through 107, 108, where it says optional final ending. Put an X through it. We ain't going to do it. We're doing the extended ending. Go back to here's to the mess. Right in the smack in the middle of the level. 105. And up. And you'll see in my tutorials, all my crescendos are marked in red pencil and all my decrescendos are marked in blue, and you should do the same because it's so easy. We're concentrating on words, a lot of us, and maybe the notes, and we just kind of ignore dynamics. And dynamics, Mr. Shaw, Robert Shaw, who I sang with for about 8 years, said it was the cheapest thrills we have in music is dynamics, okay? 111. Oh, you'll see in the tutorial, I have you take a breath down in 115. Her and the snow and the sand. I want you to actually take a breath. And then before the word and, both times, you'll see a little notch. It looks like a greater than symbol. But what that means, and I tell you, it means a glottal attack. So I don't want her and the snow and the... I want her and the snow and the sand. Okay, and we're going to take our time. 111. Some of you might be going, Man, we're moving fast and relax. We're a little crowded for time because of a lot of announcements and stuff. We will take time to go through it and play parts and stuff like that. But of course, you spending time with your parts at home, it just makes your life so much easier. And you'll just feel like you're on top of the world. So please use that. Let's see, do I have time? No. Yes, no, yes. What time is it? Oh, we have got to go on to my favorite song in the whole thing, Never Enough. And I apologize that we're never spending enough time with going over parts here with you. So this is my favorite song. I like it all too, but this is my favorite. I've even decided I like Always Look on the Bright Side of Life. All right. By the way, I did a little research in this. This is sung by the character Jenny Lind, who was the Swedish Nightingale. The whole story of Chip Shillman, which I haven't seen yet, is a highly fictionalized biography of P.T. Barnum. But in the movie, in the musical, is it just a movie, or was it ever on stage? Was it on Broadway? So she sings this to Barnum because she's become infatuated with him. That never happened, okay? There was nothing between them. Yeah, I'm sure you could, yeah. And the woman who sings for the actress, so it's not the actress who's singing in the movie, it's Lauren Allred. I know her daddy and mommy because they sang with me with Mr. Shaw. Brady Allred is an absolutely fabulous choral director. He had the Pennsylvania Bach Society or Pittsburgh Bach Choir or whatever. And then they moved to Salt Lake City, and he started the Salt Lake Choral Artists, which is just this fabulous choral program. He's just all that in a bag of chips. And it's his daughter that, I guess she was on America's Got Talent and sang this, and she just sings the crap out of this song. It's amazing, and she's easy to fall in love with when you see her sing this song. It's just amazing. But I think my battery's dying, so I'll speak up. We're just having technical issues, but my light is pretty dim, so I think I need a new battery. So thank you. Thank you for telling me. Here we go. Good luck. Let's see how you do. Way to fight for it. Okay, now the little notes, for instance, will be in the alto part, or if it's above, will be in the soprano recording. Yeah, so they'll be there. And I'm sorry, I'm not taking time to fuss with this. We'll come back. Just fight for it, and then we'll come back and do what we have time for. Bar 13, top of page 4. I guess we're going to have a little more help. 13 parts. 13. Measure 13 parts. And. Right where they begin. F. And. important things you can do in the tutorial, and I have reposted this, is I wrote in these highly syncopated measures like 17, 18, and 21 and so forth. I've put in heavy vertical slashes where the beat is, so that you know where your words are falling in relationship to the beat. For instance, in stars and steel all happen before the beat, okay? Because the beat's happening on the second note of each tied pair. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. But just be aware that it's a tricky read, but once you hear it a few times, you're just, because it's very speech rhythm-like. Let's go back to 17, please. And for me, yeah, it's a long time. The other thing that's tricky in this song is this, for me, for me, for me. All of it starts ahead of the beat. And usually it goes, for me, and it's the second note of me that is where the beat is. So you just got to get used to it. It's highly syncopated, but I think once you hear it a few times, it'll become comfortable. Can we start with never, never? And 26, page 6, 26, right where you're on beat 3. That's silly. Just be dictated. Let's go back and pick up a note or two, shall we? This is not an easy read, so you did quite well. Don't beat on yourself. The problem too, playing those highly syncopated things on the piano make it sound harder than it is.
I think so.
It just makes it sound mechanical and stuff, and it's very speech-like. So I don't want to concentrate on those syncopated things right now. Let's just work on the parts where we have harmony parts. Could we start middle of page 5? That isn't hard. Let's start right there in the second system, the first measure with towers of gold, distilled to little. And the second syllable of little is what's on the beat. Okay? So let's just start there. And then we're going to go on. We're going to go soprano, alto, then tenor bass, and then we're going on with tenor bass only. So when we get to the bottom of the page, 5, sopranos and altos just don't sing. You with me? Okay. And towers of gold, No, don't sing, listen. Never for me. Do you hear I'm going, me? And on the piano that sounds very disjointed. But when you, never for me. It's no big deal, right? You'll get used to it. And it's well sung. It's well sung on the recording. Let's go on right there where I just was. This is page 6, second system, first bar. We're going to go on because I want to get to these never enough, never enough, never enough stuff. Nope, just tenor bass. 1. Never for me, never enough, never enough, never enough for me. So, for instance, basses for me. I'll flip it around, you know, and you'll get used to it. Now, let's go back. We're going to start in the same spot with the sopranos and altos, towers of gold. And tenors and basses, you can sing These Hands Will Hold the World, but then I want you to drop out when you get to the bottom of the page. So we can just hear the soprano and alto parts. Ready, go. Soprano alto. Two. For me. Good. This song, the cool thing about this, because she's really being, and the reason they repeat it never and never and never all the time is she's really become really compulsive about this. It'll never be enough. You know, all this fame, all this. I mean, I was reading in the Wikipedia article about her. She went on a tour. She toured with Barnum and Bailey for a while, but of all the people to be touring with, a operatic soprano. But she didn't care for the way it was managed and marketed, so she went on and did her own tour, and she made something, I think in a year she made something like what did they say, $318,000. In 18, you know, right after the Civil War, it credited, it's like $21 million or something. So it's just put Taylor Swift to shame. I mean, just, wow. She was something else. Anyway, let's put it all together there. Same spot. We're on page 5, second system. Oh, by the way, towers of gold are still too little. Little is on B4. Towers, just speak it with me, sopranos and altos. Towers of gold are still too little. Still too little. Get to 2 of them, sir. Listen to me. Just tap your leg and listen. Towers of gold are still too little. Little O is on the beat, but it can't be little. Okay? Try it with me. Let's do it 3 times. Tenors, basses, hang out. Ready? Are you tapping? Towers of gold are still too little. Again and. Towers of gold are still too little. Get to 2 sooner. Ready and. Stars of gold are still too little. And you want to get to little before the beat. Little begins before the beat. 2 begins right after the beat. You'll get used to it. Everybody, 21 parts. That's it. Watch. Never be enough for me.
for me. Okay, so, let's take it again, take it again, take it again. And you'll notice basses, you're in unison with the sopranos here some of the time on the main Never Be Enough. Towers goes into lands with all the world, but it'll never be enough. Never be enough for me. Never, 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 never for me. And you'll go home saying, you know, these 2 hours I spend on Monday will never be enough for me. The clock on the wall says we have to go home now. God bless you. Thank you for being here. We'll help you with more notes next week. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Nasty, 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 nasty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know that is good. It's telling people don't be discouraged. Going home and hearing the music now I'm hearing it with the music. My part. Do it where my heart is Well, no, not at the beginning. Later on,
Well, yeah, it's hard not to jump up there.
What is it?
I'd like to. I don't think they'll let me, but I'd like to. They want to put the repeat signs in audition. So I wouldn't be sad about it. I love that. It's such amazing. Have you seen that show? Have you seen all that? I could find out. Yeah, it's got a kind of bitter spin, which I didn't know call it. I thought it was good. And that Ryan Gosling can sing it. Well, so can Emma Stone. And Ryan Gosling, but you can art. He's pretty cool. Oh God, yes, he's very good. He's in Les Mis. He's in Les Mis. He's in the only person in Les Mis should have been done and wasn't. Because he was. But in Anne Hathaway, when she did that, you know, her big number with her hair all screwed up, she did that. They had an orchestra live on stage. She didn't do that anyway. She blew me away. She sang
His mythological.
There's a Rewrite the Stars. Yeah, and that we've got Will White right by It's really something. Man, that is powerful. I've got to Who's here?
Okay. I know.
Brian, the chiropractor of it?
Stem cell transplant is, they don't like to do it on, but or relapses, so you wait too long to get the stem cell transplant, maybe your body's not too strong enough to do So, no, we were there for the long day. There was also some on Friday and some on Sunday. Phil's my sister. Yeah, the sunshine helps. I'm going to stop by the bathroom and then I'll see you guys there.
I do too.
I occasionally have to.
Maybe we should try it. Because you can capture the sound waves.
The problem is, okay, I've got to make sure I don't stand on the phone. Shriek, but I don't tell you. If I put it here, and aimed it that way. If I forget, my
Oh, God, yes. My back is this.
It is.
So it's I told
I've had surgery. I'm very nervous. Yes. It's like, you go, girl.
I think I see his name.
You're not supposed to drive. Besides, you're not supposed to drive the vehicles. Because if you have the
Oh.